Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Southeast Iowa Video Network's Community Profiles. I'm your host, Greta Clemens, and we are powered by KCTC. The Washington Performing... Nope. I even practiced before we started. The Washington Area Performing Arts and Event Center. Some of the members of that group are here today. We have Jan and Bob back with us because they have some more exciting events going on. So you guys have been here a couple times. So you've been busy.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. So you have a new show coming as part of your Washington Performing Arts series. So what can you tell us about that?
Well, we're just delighted that Washington is going to have another chance to see one of Iowa's premier performing arts organizations when Opera Iowa, Des Moines Metro Opera's educational touring group, arrives on Tuesday, April 22nd to present Rossini's Cinderella, which is an opera sung in English, and that's at the Hanson Auditorium of the Washington Performing Arts and Event Center. That's the auditorium that's hooked onto the high school.
Has it always been called the Hanson Auditorium?
It was from the beginning, but it was getting confusing with various names, and so we've highlighted it more recently.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I don't even think I
Hanson
knew that.
The Hanson family gave a lot of money towards building it, so
sure.
It's only right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, the performance is sponsored by the Washington Performing Arts Series, and tickets can be purchased online at washingtonauditorium.org or at the door. Adults are $20, college students are $10, and the performance is, get a load of this, free to children and students up through 12th grade. The event is included in this year's season ticket for the Washington Performing Arts Series also.
So if you have season tickets, you're in.
You've got to be there, and you've got to get your kids there. They're going to love this.
Yeah. That's really nice, you guys. Sorry, that's really nice you guys offer that for free for kids. I say it every time you're here, but I think that's really, really cool and nice.
Oh,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
I think it's just great.
Yes.
Well, the classic tale of Cinderella is one of the most famous stories in the world. And of course, everybody knows the Disney version, and now there's two of those. But it was a story that actually started way, way back in the 1st century in Egypt.
Oh, wow.
I mean, this is a very old story.
Yeah.
And it's been under many different guises through the centuries. Our version is much more like the Disney version, but not the Disney version. It's going to be very accessible for audiences of all ages. And Rossini composed his comic opera version when he was just 25 years old. And that was following the success of The Barber of Seville, which is a fabulously fun show to see. And that was just the year before. Cinderella, he completed in 3 weeks. It sounds like a white heat of inspiration. And he's considered to have written some of his finest writing for voice and for ensembles in this. Now, the performance we're going to be seeing is not all Rossini. It's really a simplified version that is written by Joshua Borths, and he has music by Rossini as well as Jules Massenet. But it's just a wonderful show, and it's going to take a lot from the opera itself. It's in English, again. It packs lots of comedy as well as the traditional story, with some variations, which would be rather interesting to know.
Yeah.
This outreach group from the Des Moines Metropolitan Opera has a mission to educate as well as entertain in shows before school and general audiences. And they're bringing us a cast that's clearly professional. The role of Cinderella is being performed by Christine Boddicker. She's a mezzo-soprano from Hinsdale, Illinois. She has sung major opera roles, appearing in Bizet's Carmen and Gounod's Romeo and Juliet. And she's been seen in Cedar Rapids Opera, Lyric Opera of Kansas City, and Ars Lyrica of Houston. The role of the prince is being performed by the tenor Ethan Burke, and he's been having a lot of fun bringing out the comedy of this role. He comes to us from Aurora, Illinois, and he has degrees from rather named schools also: Yale School of Music, Curtis Institute of Music, Baldwin Wallace Conservatory.
Wow.
He also has been a soloist in major works like the Mozart Requiem and Handel's Messiah. And then there's a Haitian-American soprano, Sabrina Langlois, perhaps is how she pronounces her name. She's playing dual roles of a stepsister and a fairy godmother. And she has degrees from University of Miami and UCLA and is often connected with the LA Opera Chorus. And baritone Adam Partridge is the fourth and final singer. and he plays two roles, stepfather and king, and he's from Jacksonville, Florida. He is focusing on focusing on opera. He went to Rice University, and he's been in singing competitions with the Met and some pretty high price things. He also gets a kick out of playing singing in rock and pop and musical theater. So he's not all opera.
Man of many talents.
Oh, yes. And the performance is being accompanied by Elisa Cox, and she has degrees from Wheaton College. She's performed all over, from Texas to Italy and all around. I've been told that the performance of Cinderella is going to be a delight for the eyes, with carefully crafted costumes and sets designed to really enhance the story. Also, one thing very nice to know is that the production is not terribly long. It's about as long as a Disney movie.
I was going to ask that.
And it's great for younger viewers with shorter attention spans.
Sure.
So the evening also will be a tremendous value to theater and music lovers, and is complete with a Meet the Performers reception following the performance.
Very cool.
And that should be wonderful.
Yeah.
So again, that's Cinderella, and that is Tuesday, April 22nd at 7 p.m. at the Performing Arts and Events Center, Hanson Auditorium, connected to the high school.
Very cool.
An event not to be missed.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I'm not uber familiar with opera, so do they sing opera the whole time? Like, is the whole show opera, or do they talk in between?
I'm anxious to hear how they're going to interpret comic opera,
Yeah, I was
because
like,
comic opera is really opera that could be a tragedy, but if there's any talking, it's called comic opera. Isn't that weird?
I was thinking it was going to be funny.
Yeah, well,
I guess maybe it could.
It will be.
but-
It
This
will
one
be.
is going
Yeah.
to be funny.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there is talking in a comic opera, which this is being billed as.
Interesting.
But
Okay.
usually most things are sung in opera.
Yeah.
And
That's
you
what I
get
thought.
used to that pretty quickly,
Yeah.
especially when the music's just great.
Yeah.
And it's in English.
Yeah, I
true.
say, and I was going to say that's a nice feature because you actually can understand what's going on.
Sure.
So, well, that's cool. And they bring their own sets in, and so there's 4 main people that are on stage.
4 main people on stage, one pianist who's accompanying for them
Yeah.
instead of an orchestra. That keeps prices down. And then we have 2 people on tech.
Okay,
And,
so not a big crew.
Yeah.
I was envisioning this whole, I don't know.
Yeah,
This
and they
whole group of
perform
people,
everywhere.
but-
They're in cafetoriums and gyms and auditoriums and whatnot.
Very
So,
cool.
speaking of that, should I mention what's happening during the day?
I was going to
also?
say, you
Please
mentioned
do.
something
Because-
about education. So,
Well, yes, they are an educational arm of the Des Moines Metro Opera.
Yeah.
And they're going to have events for all the elementary schools in town
that's cool.
on that particular day. They're doing a series of theatrical and musical workshops for the students. And then after that, they're performing something called Billy Goat's Gruff for the elementary students. Doesn't sound quite as classy, but it's an opera by John Davies, who really has written lots of kids shows based on the music of major composers.
Okay.
And the whole idea of this is that he's using the music of Mozart and Donizetti and Rossini to tell a story that we already know about Billy Goat's Gruff, and he's highlighting the idea of concerns with bullying in school.
Oh.
And so there's going to be suggestions within this about how one can alleviate problems like that.
Sure.
And that could be
Wow.
really good for the kids.
Always.
And their whole idea is entertain but educate.
Yeah. That's so cool.
So
So they're
that
going to
would
go
be
to
nice.
the schools and do.
The schools come to us there at the high school in the high school
Oh,
auditorium.
okay.
Yes.
Very cool. Is it certain grades or is it just?
It's what?
Or certain classes?
4, 5.
Well-
I think 4, 5, and 3.
4 and 5 go to the workshops, and then I think 2nd through 5 come to the show.
I think you're
Okay.
right. That's right.
So if you have kiddos 2nd through 5th, they're going to get a little bit of an experience that day.
Yes.
And then that night you can go
back.
go back and watch them in
And
Cinderella.
it's free for kids to come
Yeah.
back. So
And the
Wow, what-
singers are working with the high school choir first thing in the morning.
Oh, so all the students are getting
So
a piece.
it's
That's so
gonna be
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
it'd be great.
It's a good day.
Very cool. So you guys got to make sure you check out Cinderella, which is on, like you mentioned, April 22nd, which is a Tuesday. They'll be in the schools all day, and then 7 p.m. you can catch them live at the Hanson Auditorium. Cool. Well, that sounds like a ton of fun. We'll put the links below so you can just go right to the website and get your tickets. But they have some other fun things coming up, but we'll chat with them about that after the break. So we'll be right back.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
The Connie and Amanda team is dedicated to giving back to our community by actively engaging with our clients, businesses, and the public. When it comes to helping you find your next home, investment, or commercial space, the Connie and Amanda team is here for you.
Bring the kids, share the memories, celebrate 75 years of traditions at the Midwest Old Threshers Reunion. Relive the magic of steam engines, antique cars, and trucks, tractors, gas engines, and horses. Whether it's your first visit or a cherished tradition, you'll enjoy the delicious foods, the thrill of an Old West shootout, and the excitement of nightly grandstand entertainment. For 75 years, this has been the place where memories are made at the 2025 Midwest Old Threshers Reunion, August 28th through September 1st in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. Visit oldthreshers.com for more details.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics, providing quality health care that puts you first. Whether during a hospital stay, seeing a primary care provider for wellness exams or sick visits, minor surgery to a total joint replacement, or recovering from an injury, we're here when you need us.
More than you expect for your health care. Washington County Hospital and Clinics.
Welcome back, everybody, to Community Profiles. If you've missed the first half, I have been chatting with Jan and Bob about the Washington Performing Arts Series with the Washington Area Performing Arts and Events Center. Got it that time. And we were chatting about Cinderella, which is happening on April 22nd at 7 p.m. Just rewind if you want to catch more information about that. But now we're going to chat about another fun event that you've had, and this is the third year you've done this, and I know it was a big hit last year. I remember hearing about it, and that is an evening of improv. So
yes, sort of backed by popular demand.
Yeah,
partly from the actors themselves, because they have a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah,
although it's hard to get them corralled to schedule it again. They do love it, and we've done this for 3 years, and most of those times we've been able to get students from Mid-Prairie to come and be part of our Act 1 series, but they're at prom that night and they can't come. So I'm just shout out to them, wish they could be here. But we do have three wonderful students from Washington who will perform in Act 1. And that's Isabella Lujan, which they probably saw in Charlotte's Web and other high school shows. And she's delightful, just delightful on stage. And Luna Morris and Claire Wubina also will be performing, and they will be doing some improv and some acting scenes. And then, and then also in Act 1, we have Jack Greiner, who graduated from Mid-Prairie, so he's not going to prom that night. So he's going to come over and do an individual improv, as well as do a duo with Kaylee Wenger.
Oh, cool.
Also popular from The Sound of Music and City Point Church. She's a wonderful vocalist, and they're going to do a duet, and then each of them will do a solo as well in Act 1.
So a singing, like they're going to be singing?
Okay. Yes. And then Act 2 is what really the evening is mostly about. And if people have ever watched Saturday Night Live or Whose Line Is It, is probably mostly what they do. Yeah. They get ideas from the audience about situations and characters, and then immediately, spontaneously on stage, they put together a little scene. And it could be 2 people, it could be 4 people. Yeah. Just whatever. And the audience gets into this, partly because Eric Hansen, an alumni from our school, is the MC, and he really knows how to get the audience wound up.
Yeah, he's great.
He's
great on the radio, let alone in person, I'm sure.
And he's also on the acting team. So the improv team is going to be Greg Wiley, who's in charge of it. He's their their coach, Tom Dawson, who's also hysterical, Eric Hansen, Dan Kitchen, and all of those, as well as Brett Pearson, were involved last year.
Okay.
And this year we have 3 newcomers.
Ooh.
Kent Keating, who was former band director at Washington High School and graduated from here. Kelly Julesgaard, who was Kelly Teetsworth, who graduated from here and was very good in speech and drama in high school. And also Jack Griner, since he's not going to prom. He's coming here not only to sing, but to do individual improv and to do improv with this group. So this is the first time we've had this younger generation involved in the Act 2. So we're really looking forward to it. It's lots of fun. I've told them it must be family oriented because sometimes the audience will throw you ideas. Yep. They're like, oh, this would be really good. No, you can't go there. You can't go there. And Kent Keating also will be the pianist, and usually it's been Mike Jewell, but he is expecting a grandchild that weekend.
Oh, congrats, Mike.
And so he will not be able to be there. But Kent has done this type of thing before, and he's wonderful musically, and he will accompany them, and they will do a musical number by improv as well.
Oh my gosh!
They throw out ideas to them, and then they've got this little tune that they play, and then they have to. Every one of them comes in with a different line about that topic that the audience gave them.
Wow!
And it's hysterical. And it's usually very physical comedy.
Yeah,
they're on the floor, they're in the air, they're running across the stage. They're incredibly fun. And probably the most exciting thing for us about this is it's going to be done by free will donation.
Oh, okay.
And the reason we're doing that is because we're trying to raise money for additional or replacement lights or sound equipment.
Okay.
And when we first came up with the plans for this building, well, I think it started out at $6 million, and then we discovered that the school was expecting a larger population in the next few years, so it ended up being $7 million plus, and about every 6 months, the cost was going up $400,000.
Oh, geez.
And that's when the bids were coming in.
Yeah.
And so there were many things we had to cut from that budget. We had to cut a batten, which would carry electrical lines for additional lights. So right now, the band, when they're playing, the people in the band are like restricted on what they can see. They better memorize their music because they can't read it because the lighting's not good enough.
Yeah.
And you can't see the actors as well backstage at the back of the stage either. We also had what's called an act curtain, so that you have area in front of the stage, and then you have your main curtain, and then after that you would have another curtain so that you could change scenery behind while actors were in front.
Gotcha.
You could have a set set up back here, the actors leave, the curtains open, and there's another set. So that was cut. And then much of the equipment then that go with that, especially the lights, were gone.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, there were other things as well that had to be cut from the budget.
Right.
So we would like eventually to get some of those things. And so we have been putting money away for 10 years now.
Yes.
So every year we get a little bit more money in that money pouch to take care of some of these things. But we did ask the David Watson, who does the sound and lights for the show, to look at what we have and to give us a list of immediate needs. And so those are some of the things that we'll be looking for money coming in. Yeah. And we'll put up a list. I'll put up a list of the things that David has said, these are the things that are immediate needs. And hopefully some of those could be paid for through this this donation.
So the show's free, but obviously you want some donations for those things. So
no max. Whatever they want to get.
No max. No roof on the money you can bring in there.
If they want to pay for a baton, we would be happy to have it. Or even a microphone, a headset, whatever.
Anything.
So, yes. So
very cool. So this is on Saturday, April 26th.
Yes.
At 7 p.m. at the Hansen Auditorium, where Eric Hansen will be.
Yes.
What is he? He's
the MC.
The MC. I couldn't think of the word.
And a performer.
And a performer.
And this is the same Hansen family that donated quite a bit of money and that's why we named it the Hanson Auditorium.
Yeah, love
And they were also on the committee to help raise money, so they've been very instrumental in making this project happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. They're a wonderful family. So
They are.
done a lot
They
of
are.
good in our community.
Yes, they certainly have.
So, but yeah, this sounds like a ton of fun.
It is
sounds
fun.
I don't know how they do this. I don't know how they do improv. I remember, I think you came and maybe it was Brett and we did an improv in here one time. I think maybe it was last year when we were talking about this and I couldn't even do that. So let alone people staring at me. And
And when you don't have, and even some of the really seasoned actors who perform in Heart Players, like, no, give me a script. Give me a script. Because
improv is its own thing.
You're out there on your own with an audience, but Eric will get them so wound up.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah,
very cool. So make sure you guys check it out. We'll link their website and Facebook and tickets if you want to get tickets for Cinderella on April 22nd. But you guys have a lot going on, so make sure you guys stay up to date on their Facebook page and their website because you guys do keep that updated. So yeah, lots going on.
Thank you. We appreciate you giving us this opportunity to share what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Especially for the kids.
Yeah, I know. That's really cool. That's really nice that they're able to join for free or come watch for free. And then this extra little thing they get this on April 22nd. So very cool. Anything we missed? Anything else you need to mention or say?
I should just say one thing, and that is that Opera Iowa that's doing Cinderella is the educational outreach program from the Des Moines Metro Opera. And Des Moines Metro Opera is in Indianola, and they're just south of Des Moines. And they're in their 53rd season of presenting phenomenal operas in a great space with singers and all the performers from all over the country. And it's amazing the audiences that they bring in. Into the Blank opera, what do I want to say, the Blank Performance Center. I wondered about the Czech that created that place. But it is just, they're in, again, the 53rd season, and this year they're doing Wagner's Flying Dutchman, Janacek's The Cunning Little Vixen, and Stravinsky's The Rake's Progress during their summer festival, which is June 27th through July 20th. And there's more information on their website at DesMoinesMetOpera.org.
Okay.
And that is really not to be missed. It's one of the reasons to live in Iowa.
Yes, among many others, we have a lot. We do have a lot going on here in Iowa, let alone Washington, but the state of Iowa too. So,
we do.
Well, very cool. So make sure you guys check that out. Again, we'll link everything below for you, and make sure you like and subscribe to Southeast Iowa Video Network. We love to have you join us on YouTube and all the other things. So thank you guys for joining us. I feel like you'll probably be back again. I want to say May, if I can read that board. I might be wrong. I don't know. I'm sure you'll be back and with some more events that you have going on. Yeah. So thank you guys again for coming in. And that is all for this week. So we will see you guys next time.